Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Renegade. We just reached the silver stage and have to deal with this countermeasure null and void, which means we have to put in 3 contaminants and also at least 3 sparks on this card by the end of this entire round. Definitely challenging thing to do, and I believe this is really one of the new countermeasure cards that comes with the expansions or with the booster packs. One thing that I forgot during my last episode was to wipe the hack shack, so thanks Scott for making me aware and Ricky for confirming this. Yes, at the end of a round, of a full round, we basically clean out the hack shack and deal out 4 new cards, and I have to think about those. I think the dancing pig is definitely worth taking. The Emit EMP is also helpful. Getting those leadership tokens is great. Yeah, for sure 3 leadership is better than 1, and yeah, pretty much the same here for the read request intercept. We don't have a start of turn event. We don't have to restock the hack shack. We just did that. We will deal with new sparks, and according to Logi, we will now place 2 of those flares here on Faith. And keep in mind, whenever we create a guardian based out of one or at least one of those flares, we create a firewall, and a firewall is really nasty because we can no longer move into this. Really not looking good. On the other hand, I really can use those flares pretty well in order to fulfill our countermeasure goal up there, because if I get rid of both of those, then, or if they capture one of my contaminants and I get rid of the flare, I get them both on my null and void card. Again, thanks so much Ricky for confirming this to me too. Okay, over to our actions, and I really think I want this read request intercept because my hand was not particularly great. So let's send in my decrypt. This allows me to grab this card, and again I can get this right to my hand, and I guess then I will play this card right away. I will use the execute action to replace this card plus up to 2 others from your hand to the bottom of your command deck, then draw back the same amount. That's pretty cool. So I will totally go for this focus, which I don't need at this point in time at least, and I really think to get rid of the live wire voodoo for now. So I will place those cards to the bottom of my deck. Then I draw 3 new data scan. Okay. Diversion, I think this could help us, and another decrypt one. I was really hoping for a lower blue card here, but okay, yeah, I will take it anyway. And the cool part is I already did 2 actions and I still have 5 cards with me. Isn't that nice? Problem is I really have to think what to do next. So again, I have to waste command points, and I really hate this. Let's spend the decrypt in order to move down. I don't know. Let's move down here. Let's take the virus with us for now. I think that's fine. Still, I'm basically getting rid. I could move again, but I think I'm not. So let's get rid of this card. Then let's play the diversion, and because I have a replicator here with me, I can pretty much generate 1 for 1. So I can basically upload 3 of those guys here. That's the maximum that can be of any one type of contaminants, but this is all I needed, and I think then I'm already about to stop. I will use my digital tattoo in order to do a remote push. I have a green one here, I have a green one here, so I can basically use this guy to push something else. So let's push this spark closer to me. I think that's important for my next turn. So those were 3 cards already. And because I'm Dex, I'm allowed to keep 2 cards for my next turn. So let's end my turn. So we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 more cards left in this deck. And yeah, let's restore the hack shack here. Oh wow, console cowboy. Wow, make 3 to 4 or execute to instead delete a guardian from your partition. Wow, that's really insane, this card. Then we have to create 2 new flares here on the highest partition of my current server. And I think then we should be good to go. Yeah, why not? Awesome stuff. Okay, here I really have in fact a chance getting rid of both of those guys down here. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Let's use push action, or rather a shift. Sorry for that confusion. To shift this and this guy down here. So they will be captured. Oops, wrong way. But that's okay for now. Right now they are captured. That's fine. Then I really need a new card, so let's get rid of that interrupt here and go for the dancing pig. I can execute to have one contaminant from your server swap partition with one spark on your server. This could come in handy too, but for now, let's grab this card. I really need those points. Then I think it's time to move down here to this partition. Of course, I will take my friends with me. Now I have more of those. I think those are replicants, if I'm not mistaken. More replicants than flares, or in this case sparks. Doesn't really matter. So this card has been played, so I can initiate a modify action now, which is really basically the idea why I was getting there. So I need to come up with 1 point, so 1 yellow point to initiate the action. So for example, could be a waste. Yeah, why not? Let's go for the ginger cool here. So this is the yellow command I need, the leadership command, and now I need another point basically in which I want to transform the spark into, or the flare into in this case. And I guess let's go with the green one here. I think I have it. Let's not waste the card here. I think that's perfectly fine. So I will delete this one here. This one gets deleted too, if I got that right. And this is really key now. If I'm really wrong here, then I'm messing up my play here basically totally. So let's move both of those guys to the null and void countermeasure card. Of course, I have just created one uplink contaminant here. Of course, this card has been played. So again, I really assume that this is right, because the garbage collection says place contaminant deleted by sparks or guardian on this card. In my theory, it has been basically captured, and usually when a spark removes one of my contaminants, it counts as deleted, and I think that's the same for those sparks. They keep it for time being, so they do not go back to the stock until the spark or the flare is still alive. But later on, when this is basically gone, it's going back to my supply. So in this case, I really assume it goes to the silver card here. Then let's push one of those guys over here. So this guy is captured too by the flare. This card has been played. And I think let's simply do the convert or modify action again here. I still have more of those replicants than there are flares. So 1 in order to initiate it. Then I will basically modify this guy into one another. So basically another replicant. And yeah, this card has been played too. I'm down to only 2 cards, but I think let's use it. Let's use the data scan here in order to move, and I really want to move out of here, because otherwise I'm really in troubles. I know that 2 more flares will show up at the start of the next turn pretty much, which is about to happen now. I have my infiltrate card still on my hand, but I think I could use it in order to attack this guy here, but I think this is definitely the easier way, and yeah, it can give me some fancy stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I think let's call it for this turn. Let's restock our hand, and I really hope okay, here's at least 1 leadership. Okay, another leadership and the green one. I could remember those 2, but I was not really sure how many leadership or yellow tokens I would still have. Let's move into the next turn, which means we will reveal yet another card here. That's the override interrupt, which says I can play it as an interrupt after any infect action to instead add 2 to the Renegade's total infection score. Okay, that's not bad. Then we have to create 2 new flares. This one captures this one. This one is here. We still have quite a few sparks left, so I think we are right now, I'm not overly concerned about this one, and we will remove the flares on this card to the stock when we basically complete this one too. So there are 2 more than I just showed you. I think overall we should be okay. Okay, let's try to finish off this flare here. So we will play the sabotage. So this is the yellow command, the replicant command, or the deception point that it is, and yeah, I will use, I have more than those, so this gets deleted. This one is released too. It goes back to the card. So now I have fulfilled this goal. At least I really do hope I got it right. And of course I have transformed this flare into a virus. Awesome. So this sabotage has been played too. Okay, now it's getting trickier. First of all, let's grab some more leadership. Yeah, let's go for this basic card here. So I will trade in the infiltrate and go for the emit EMP. When this card is used in effect action, delete all sparks from your partition adjacent to you. So this could come in handy later on too. So let's grab it for now. Let's use the focus in order to push two of those guys over here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Can use it for later. Then I will do something aggressive. So I will play those two cards. Those are 3 movement points now. And the idea is to move over here and basically wreak some havoc. So I will move 1, 2, 3 spaces here. Of course, I will take those viruses with me. Unfortunately, I can only take like colored contaminants with me, so I cannot go for yellow and red, but that's fine for now. And yeah, I think let's do some fighting here. But before I do, let's go for this card. So I will trade the Renegade Apprentice and we'll go for the Override Interrupt. And then I will call for an infect action. So here is 1 and here is 2. So these are 2 points, and I will use the interrupt after any infect action to instead add 2 to the Renegade's total infection score. So I can still play it afterwards as an interrupt in order to place 2, but I can play it right away. So those are 2 more infection points. So I have 4 here plus 2 more, so that's 6 versus those 2. So let's roll the die. Red is mine. Again, in theory, I'm at 4 right now plus the die. They're at 2 plus their die. So let's see. Okay, that's not a problem. I didn't really need the override interrupt. That was good enough. All of those sparks have been deleted, and this is really, really important. Let's get rid of it. And yeah, those were all of my actions. So we can basically go into the network fights backstab. And I believe there aren't any real fights now. All of my viruses are alone. So basically this guy gets deleted because he shares the partition with one of those sparks. It's a flare, but still they will fight. They have kept what they have here, so there's nothing about to happen. No, that's about it for the countermeasure step. So we will check for success or failure. And I guess, and I really hope that this is a success. So if not, then I will simply subtract 25 points at the end of the game easily. But of course, I still have to go through the second card anyway. So those cards or those tokens go back to their respective reserve. So then we say, yes, it's a success. Nice one, Renegade. You are something to avoid. Nothing lasts forever, not even nothing. Place all sparks and contaminant from this card onto the network, distributed however you wish. Oh wow, they do not go back to the pool. I have to place them back to the network, including those awful sparks or flares. Are you kidding me? Okay, I really have to do some thinking here. And I think the flares are easy. Let's do them. I don't know. Yeah, I think red doesn't activate this round, so let's place all those flares down here onto salvation. Now for the cool part. Here I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think let's place one more here, because then I still have some kind of a data highway. I think this may sound like a good plan. Let's also place this uplink here next to the flare, so I may be able to shift it around however I see fit. And yeah, this yellow one, let's place it here, so I have pretty much a good pool. No, why should I play it here? Let's place it here, I guess. Or maybe no, let's place it here. That's fine. Let's keep it here, and that's it. We still have to do our movement though. So let's start with, what is it, freedom here. So the lowest one goes to the next highest one. Then we have justice. They also move up. That's not a problem. Then we have 2 times faith, and this can be a problem. So 1 and 1. This was the first action. And then they do the same thing again, and this is really a problem. So this moves down here, nothing happens. This moves down here, yes, something does happen. In this case, we basically created our first firewall here. And the problem about firewalls, there's nothing I can do from my side to basically move onto this partition now. This really hurt like crazy. Good thing is we didn't see any spark explosions or whatnot, but still that's already pretty bad. So maybe I really should have considered moving things around here a little bit. Okay, that's on me. I have to accept it. Unfortunately, I don't get the 25 victory points yet because there is a second card we have to, our second countermeasure we have to beat in the silver step, and that's the neural matrix here. Have an uplink or a neural hub on every closed partition on at least x+1 servers. So basically 2 servers. If that many servers do not exist, or all of them do not have closed, then you must have an uplink on every closed partition on the network. Okay, I have to do some, I have to check how I have to complete this. And yes, in fact, I only have 2 closed partitions, which then says if that many do not exist, blah, 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 then you must have an uplink on every closed partition on the network. That's actually those 2 spaces here. I'm really playing this game that I'm not checking out the individual countermeasure cards, because if I would have checked them out, I definitely wouldn't have placed this guy here. I would have placed it down there. But again, I will not cheat here. I will keep it as it is. And yeah, I think that's like it is. Not sure if I will be able to manage that, to be honest. This is kind of tough. On the other hand, yeah, maybe not, maybe not. I can also use basically maybe a remote shift or so. Let's see how things work out for me. But I think, yeah, that's pretty much the... Oh, no. Okay, no. Yeah, something bad will happen in a second now. I just noticed that. That's really bad. Okay, we will see yet another firewall and a spark explosion appearing there. Pretty bad. Before I forget it again, we have to remove those 2 cards. They're basically one of the 2 best cards in the game. Fortunately, let's bring out 4 more. Ginger Cool, I think we already know this one. An item ship, execute to instead move from open partition to any other open move action. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. The digital 2, we already know this one. And the data shift, which says or execute to instead move up to 3 contaminants from any adjacent partition to yours. Okay, that's a good one too. Okay, but now some terrible things will happen. We will create yet another flare here, or there will be 2 flares in fact. Again, these are 3, so they will form into a firewall. The problem is, this is my closed partition I needed in order to bring the uplink to. So I really have to get rid of that firewall somehow. I have no clue how to do that, to be honest. And I really have to send in viruses like crazy, for example. The thing is, I'm not done yet because I will create yet another flare here. Problem is, I cannot create a flare here. So we see the spark explosion, which will pretty much create 2 more flares on the next lower partition on that same server. There could have been a chain reaction of some sort, but right now I'm okay. But I really have to move off justice here, because anytime I do that now, terrible stuff will happen here. This is really, really the worst position for this to happen. And yeah, I was really not thinking straight. Of course, this could have also, let's say those sparks, they could have also moved down, for example. Then nothing bad would have happened. Of course, there would still be a firewall here, but that's not by far that bad as having this firewall here on the central partition, on partition 6 on that server here. Oh boy, this will be a tough call. Let's do shift action. So I will play the memory steal in order to push those viruses in here. Have to do that, definitely, no question asked. So those guys will fight this firewall basically before anything else would happen here. Okay, that's the first part of my action. Let's do a shop action. So I will get rid of the bypass and yet again grab me a digital tattoo, which can help me later on to basically buy more useful stuff. Then we will shop again. We will use the digital 2 right away. Also, when this card is used as part of a shop, it also generates 1 X. So I have a green and an X in this case. So I will go for this data shift here for sure. Then I have to move out of the blue server here, so I will move 1, 2 movement points up here. Really important stuff. Then I will use my data shift here, or execute, to instead move up to 3 contaminants from any adjacent partition or partitions to yours. I really need to protect those guys here. Really a close call. Then I'm down to 2 cards. I will hold on to those cards, I believe. So let's draw 5 more. Data steal, data request, ginger cool, sabotage, and focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. That's the end of my turn. Let's restock the Hack Shack, and it could really be a very close call. Override interrupt. I think, yeah, we already know this one. The duality, flip 1 contaminant on your partition, thus altering its type. Okay, I think I've seen this before. Can be pretty helpful, but yeah, I really have to think about this for some time. Unfortunately, Logi will create yet another 2 flares here on freedom. Right now I'm still doing okay. Of course, if those guys are moving somehow, we will see yet another firewall. I already have 2 firewalls or 2 guardians on the board. Let's start simple. Let's go for a shop action. I will trade in the focus in order to grab yet another ginger cool. I don't need it for the spark roll here. I simply want it for the leadership command point. Let's shop again. We will get rid of the data steal in order to grab the item ship to move from any open position to another open position as a move action. That's pretty powerful. Wow, this is really so close, but it's really so much fun right now. So I will shift this virus down here with the ginger cool. Really kind of a waste again, but I will do it anyway. Then I will move down here and basically take those 2 guys with me. Then I need 3 more shift points, so 1, 2, and 3 to move those guys over here. Again, this battle step happens before those guys are eaten. No, of course not. I have to push those guys down here. 1 here, 1 there. There are 2 different shift actions here. At least this is how I understand it. So basically 1, 2, and 3. I think that's still okay. So those guys, because I need them on the close partition, of course. And I think then I really have to move the hell out of here in order to make sure not another spark explosion happens. And here I'm not sure if that's really a good idea, but I will play the item ship so I can move from any open partition to any other open partition as a movement point. So I think this is an open partition. Let's move down here to this open partition there. Again, this is really risky. There are so many flares out there on the board yet. Wow, this guy is really an animal. So yeah, let's get rid of this card. I'm down to 2 cards, but I think that's about it. So I will draw my last 5 cards here. I really need some more viruses, to be honest, but this was really so bad that this firewall appeared on this one partition I needed in order to complete this goal. Yeah, let's restock the Hack Shack. Maybe something amazing will come up here. Oh, the Christmas tree. This is really a cool one to redistribute any number of sparks on your server to anywhere on the network. This Christmas tree is so amazing. I think I need to get it, or so have to think about it for a second. Of course, we will create 2 more flares, and I just noticed something here. I think I may have placed the second thing wrong, because it says each spark has a flare on the highest number without a guardian and with the fewest virus. So the second flare that would have gone here wouldn't have triggered another spark explosion. So I only place on the next highest one. So this is only 1. It's still bad enough. So it's only 1 token here, but still I have to remember this. So when there is already a guardian, it doesn't really cause indefinite spark explosion. I think this is really important. Okay, so anyway, we have to place 2 more guys here, because that's right now my server. That's the highest partition without a virus or a guardian. And yeah, let's go into the last turn of this second silver round. I think I found a good way to get this Christmas tree here. So I will play the digital tattoo again. This also creates 1 X. So that's green and X. That's perfect. Let's also play the exit EMP. That's red and an X. So those are 4 different contaminants. So I will go for the Christmas tree for sure. I only have to trade in 1 of those cards. And of course, I will go for the digital tattoo. This card simply goes to the discount pile. I really want to get rid of some of those guys here. So first of all, I want to move back here to Virtue. I need 2 movement points, 1, 2, and here I have a data highway, so I can move basically here with only 2 movement points. So those guys are really valuable. Then let's use the live wire voodoo. So we will flip those guys here. This guy gets restored. Oh, it stays where it is. Okay, that's definitely useful. So this card has been played as well. Then it's time to use the Christmas tree. Right now it's really a waste using this Christmas tree, but I will use it anyway to redistribute any number of sparks on your server to anywhere on the network. So this guy comes to me. This guy, I don't know, goes over there to the 3 here. At least I think that's a good idea for now. Yep, that's okay. Christmas tree is discarded too. Then I want to modify here, so I will use the diversion in order to initiate. I cannot modify it into a yellow contaminant, so I will go for the interrupt or override interrupt here. So I will basically get rid of him and create another virus here. I think that's still useful. I still have 1 more card left, and this is really such a waste, but I can have 1 contaminant on your server, swap partitions with 1 spark on your server. I think I cannot really use it. Don't want to trade it in. Yeah, let's call it a round. And now it's really so close because we will see a battle here. So 3 points from us and 4 points from them. We cannot play any cards, so it's basically going back to this die roll here. So they're 1 point in the lead, and I love it when a plan goes right. Wow, 6 versus 4. This is so amazing. So we are at 9, they're at 8, so this is enough to delete this wall here. This is so amazing, which also means we have made it. Wow, this was such a close call. 1 point here, and yeah, this is definitely enough to fulfill our countermeasure here. If that many servers, you must have 1 uplink or on every closed partition on the network. And yeah, that's really only those 2 here. Amazing, so amazing. I was really gambling, and in this case it turned out to be okay. Wow, great. Congratulations on Operations Crowbar. We have pried open many a closed partition. Okay, add 1 spark to each partition that does not have a spark, guardian, uplink or neural hub on 1 random server. That's the success one? Are you kidding me? Okay, we have to roll a random server. So let's see, that's the green one here, which means we will add sparks to each of those here. Let's call it empty partitions. Wow, that's really a lame reward. And now wow, this is tough, guys, because we still see the movement here, of course. So on Virtue, is it Virtue? Yeah, nothing will happen. There aren't any sparks. On Blue, the lowest one moves up, which is here. Yep, he moves up. That's the lowest one. On Red, the lowest one moves up, so 1 goes in here. And on Green, the highest one goes down. And again, that's bad. This guy moves in here, not a problem. This guy moves in here, yes, problem. Those go back. We created yet another firewall. Wow, what a devastating card, guys. The success here is really bad. So what happens if we would have failed? Okay, that would have been 2 sparks then, pretty much. Okay. Maybe this was then the better effect. So let's not forget our silver 25 victory points. Not really sure if I deserved this, because in the end it was a die roll. But guys, you know how well I'm usually rolling, so I think I really deserved a break here for sure. So let's see what our next and last countermeasure card is. And here we have the program shift. Okay, create a message queue repeats its 5 token string x times x number of ranked once. A string of tokens on this card in this exact order. So you really need red, yellow, green, blue, and then a spark. Each time you perform a shift action, you may instead remove the shifted token from the network and place it here at the end of the message queue. Okay. I think I know this one, to be honest. I have at least played it once or twice, this card. Of course, I have played most of those cards. I think this is really one of the old ones. I definitely know this one. It can be challenging, but right now I have a lot of contaminants on the board, so it could be doable. Let's wipe the Hack Shack. Let's deal out 4 more cards. Vulnerability Scanner, that's a new card, because again we are trading in blue for green. Microbionics, that's actually pretty cool, to be honest, because we need shift actions. And this is also another of the new ones. Microbionics, also 4 furthers are free. Delete 1 spark from your partition, every partition adjacent to you as well. That's an amazing card. The Pied Piper, also one of the newer ones. Cool stuff. Okay, I think I will finish this playthrough today. The network really looks like a Christmas tree, to be honest. A lot of colors, a lot of things going on. Yeah, let's start by placing 2 more flares here. So this guy gets captured. This one goes in here. So this was not really the start of turn, but yeah, basically what Logi does. Then I get to take my actions. As I really need shift actions, let's go for the decrypt one here. Let's trade it in. Let's grab the vulnerability scanner, execute to shift any number of uplinks on the network by 1 partition. This can be really handy. Then let's play it card right away. So let's do shift actions. So we start with red. This goes to my message queue. Then I will do the same for the yellow one. So I already have 2 of those on that card. So this gets basically discarded. Then I really have to move out here because more sparks get generated, or flares here. So I need 2 more movement. I only need 1 movement point. Again, there's the data highway here. Again, it's kind of a waste, but I'm running out of low cards anyway. So yeah, I could, wait a second. This is 0, 1, 2. I could move in here, to be honest, instead of there. Yeah, let's do that. So that's pretty much nothing. 1 and 2. So those are 2 movement points that have been played. Of course, I will take those replicators with me, or is it replicants? Replicators are the big ones. Then I really want this microbionics. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are 4 different contaminants. I get the microbionics. Which one do I want to keep? I believe it doesn't make a difference because it doesn't come back anyway. So let's get rid of the basic one here. So this gets discarded. And I guess I will hold on to those 2 cards here too. Then we go basically end our turn. We get 5 more cards. 3, 4, and 5. Then we will replenish the Hack Shack here, another Pied Piper, and the Sino Bracelet, also one of the new cards. Interrupt to play this card with 1 other card to have this card with the same commands as the other card. This can be really great. Then we will create 2 more flares. I think let's have them capture 1 of those. 1 of those, it will not really matter. You see that in a second anyway. And I think then it's my turn again. So let's play the Livewire Voodoo here to flip up to 3 flares on your server. So basically they get released, so they go not back to the stock, they simply get released. And of course I will do the same here too. Are restored, perfect. So this card goes back. I guess then let's play the Microbionics card, really an awesome card. Execute, delete 1 spark from your partition. Bep. And every adjacent partition. Woohoo! So those guys get removed too. That's really an amazing card here. Then let's make a shift action. So this guy gets shifted and I will ship it to my message queue. So right now I have red, yellow and green. Next one would be blue, and then I need a spark, and that's a problem. I still have 1 shift command, so I will shift this guy down here. So this card gets removed. Then I will move down here. I think let's take those viruses with me. I think then I have to shift again. Unfortunately, this is really bad. Yeah, this is really again a waste. This is really a waste, but I think I have to do it no matter what. So I will shift this guy over here. And think then I will stay where I am, because this is where I can afford to have more flares to appear. I'm down to 2 cards, so let's go into the final round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I think we should be good. Of course, we still have to create more flares. We don't get to restock the Hack Shack, didn't buy anything. But let's not forget the flares here. They will capture our 2 brave soldiers here. Let's play the data shift. I have to move in here. I cannot take those guys with me. So this card is again another waste. Then I will play the memory steal. First of all, I will shift this guy, goes to the card. Then I will shift this guy, goes to the card. So we have fulfilled our countermeasure goal here. Sorry again, I forgot to take my viruses with me. So again, hopefully that's fine with you guys. Then let's do some more fighting. Yeah, why not? Let's go here. Delete all sparks from adjacent, doesn't really matter. So I will move in here. So this guy gets captured too. I still have 2 viruses here with me. And I think then let's fight the hell out of those guys. So I will initiate let's say an infect action. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4. So that's 6 points I have versus their 2 here. So let's see. Yeah, that's fine. I'm at 8, they're at 6. Those guys are no more. In this case, they simply get back to where they came from. So this card has been utilized as well. And now I have basically 4 more points here. Instead, have 1 contaminant on your server, swap position with 1 spark on your server. There aren't any. So I think I can as well leave it be for now. I can still lose this game, don't get me wrong. So right now the network will fight back, but I think we don't see a fight here. I think none of those guys gets removed, so we can check for success or failure. We did succeed because we were able to create this message queue. Let's do the success. This new message program takes a while to upload and install, but it's pretty nifty. Return all contaminants in the message queue to the stock and distribute the sparks back onto the network however you decide. This is really one great success again. So I have 1 spark here, which needs to get placed. Let's do it here because we don't see anything happening on yellow, and then we do the movement. We start on faith, the purple will move down. So this one goes to 6 in this case. Then we have freedom, the green one. Lowest one moves up. That's this one. Then we have 2 times red. This can be a problem now, really a problem. So first highest red one goes in here, and the second one goes to here. No, we are fine. Those were our 2 movements. Okay, we are totally fine with the movement here. Awesome. We get to grab our 25 victory point for gold, which means we are at 75. We get 1 more point, I believe, for a token on the network. So that's 76. We get 5 guardians token in the stock. Right now we still have 3 of those. So that's 15 more. So that's 91. And then we get 1 point for each complete set of 5 spark tokens still on stock. So let's see how many we got. So that's 1 point and 2 points, so 3 points more. So that's 75, 90, 93 points, which means we are here in the middle range. Great work today, comrades. You have seriously damaged Mother's network, allowing our rescue operatives to free a great many civilians from her influence. These are the kind of victories that will finally save humanity. You can truly say, I am a renegade. Awesome stuff. I'm still not 100% sure if I did this one here correctly. I may have been totally wrong then. Things would have looked completely different. Of course, I would have taken different routes then, but for sure I wouldn't have then maybe scored 25 additional points. I think I could have survived it, but then I would be in the lower level of victory. But yeah, I'll leave it up to you. Very sorry if I really misunderstood this card, but I think this is how I was supposed to play it. I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough of Renegade here. It's really such an amazing puzzly game. You can play this game in so many different ways, and I'm pretty sure each one of you who watched this playthrough thought, hey, you could have also done this, and you've played this card there, or got for this card, or moved up there. There are so many ways to victory in this game, which is really, really a great job. Ricky, really appreciate all the work you put into this, because it really turns out to be a great game. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and yeah, until then, bye bye.